She and the Lightbearer is a point-and-click adventure game created by Indonesian-based indie developer Mojiken Studio. It's set in a fairy tale world where you play as a firefly who goes under the title of Lightbearer and is on a quest to bring back the mother and restore peace. Despite the whimsical art style and happy-go-lucky characters, the story quickly gives off the impression that not everything is quite as it seems. Speaking of the characters, the game features a weird and wonderful cast that, despite their outward appearance, feel very human and relatable and left a lasting impression. Overall, it's a pleasant narrative, if somewhat predictable. It didn't blow me away by any means, but it did manage to keep me engaged throughout. Unfortunately, it's in the point-and-click gameplay where She and the Lightbearer fails to hit the mark. There are puzzles, but they are way too easy to solve to the point where the game felt a little boring outside of dialogue. The puzzles that actually require much thought are few and far between. Most only require you to go somewhere to fetch an item and return it. The process is unnecessarily prolonged by lengthy and unskippable screen transitions. With that being said, the low difficulty does at least make She and the Lightbearer very approachable for those looking to get into the point and click genre. And even though what you're doing in the game isn't always engaging, it's made much more enjoyable by the soothing music, which is always a joy to listen to. It's one of the things that motivated me to get through the game the most, to see what new tracks await in later areas. It's a solid soundtrack that does wonders to complement the vibe of the game. A slight blemish of the game is its numerous script errors. They're not something that fully pulled me out of the experience, but for a game that's so heavily focused on reading text, it's an area that could have definitely used some improvement. It should also be noted that it is a very short game, clocking in at around 3 hours or so. Personally, I didn't find this to be a negative. The length is in keeping with the game's narrative and any longer would have felt like padding. In fact, its short length helps negate the tedium of the simple puzzles that could have set in had it been longer. Although She and the Lightbearer likely won't challenge any die-hard point-and-click fans, it still has a good story and a great cast of characters. It's short and easy enough that I'd recommend it to those looking for an enjoyable, light-hearted experience to chill out to.